If we want to make the vision for Lisa a reality, we got to put in the hours and make something great.
Yeah, but we have a hard date on this software, and I'm sorry, but adding pretty fonts is not going to change that. I mean, Bill?
If you don't share our enthusiasm and care for the vision of this company...
No. I'm not understanding.
Get out.
What?
Get your shit and get out.
What?
You're done.
What are you gonna fire me?
No! I already fired you! Why are you still here?
Jobs, Ashton Kutcher's biopic about Apple visionary Steve Jobs, got hammered by critics and has performed poorly at the box office. However, I'm guessing a lot of those critics aren't like me. Someone who grew up on Apple computers, learned about design and technology from them, devoured Walt Isaacson's autobiography about Jobs, and has followed the company's every move for years on multiple tech blogs. Or is the bigger issue that Steve Jobs is played by Ashton Kutcher, who generally isn't considered a serious actor, or that Aaron Sorkin, who won an Oscar for his screenplay for The Social Network, is writing the screenplay for another Jobs biopic that will almost certainly be better in every respect? Or is the problem that Jobs really does just suck? Let's find out. Jobs starts with Steve Jobs unveiling the first iPod at an Appletown meeting in 2001. Then flashes back to Jobs' time as a hippie dropout at Reed College, where he did drugs, only went to classes he was interested in, and developed his love of computers and fonts. From there, you more or less have a typical business success story. From Apple's scrappy start in Jobs' parents' garage with his buddy Steve Wozniak, played by Josh Gads. There are Apple's ups and downs as they soared with the creation of the personal computer but ran past deadline and over budget with projects like the Macintosh. Jobs' ouster from the company he created, and ending with his triumphant return to Apple in 1996, and the start of his collaboration with design guru Johnny Ive, which led to the creation of the iMac. If you read any of the thousands of articles about Jobs in the weeks after his death in 2011, none of this should be news or spoil anything. The story of Steve Jobs, Apple, and their impact on technology in the world are huge stories to tell, and even the most talented director and the best screenwriter would have an extremely difficult time trying to cram it all into a single movie. Unfortunately, Jobs doesn't have either, with director Joshua Michael Stern's only feature directing credit being the Kevin Costner political comedy Swing Vote, while screenwriter Matt Whiteley, according to his IMDb page, has written no screenplays aside from the one for Jobs. This is a big problem for two reasons. The first is that instead of focusing on a shorter period of time that's emblematic of the journey of Jobs and Apple, which would be no easy task, Stern and Whiteley attempt to tell you everything, and end up not telling any part particularly well. This opens up the film to criticism for missing key moments, including Jobs' visit to Xerox PARC, where he first saw the graphic user interface that brought home computing to the masses, or Jobs' role in the creation of Pixar, as are his obsessions with Eastern philosophy and Japanese design. A lot of issues are only given cursory treatment, like the fact that Jobs was adopted, and the big questions of why Jobs was the way he was in his personal life and his business dealings, and how he, more than anyone else on the planet, understood the role of technology in people's everyday lives, are left unanswered. The other big problem with having a weak director and screenwriter to tell an amazing story is when you know that something much better is on its way. Aaron Sorkin's Steve Jobs screenplay is based on Walter Isaacson's definitive biography, which will surely attract best-in-the-business talent. And with Sorkin's knack for dialogue and character development, as well as the fact that he's proven adept at telling great stories about the tech world and maverick visionaries, I spend a lot of time watching Jobs thinking how much better Sorkin's movie will most likely be. The problem with Jobs definitely isn't Kutcher, who gives a strong, passionate performance that's probably the best of his career so far. But without a good director and screenplay to back him up, Jobs is hard to recommend, especially when you know a better version 2.0 is on the way. I'm Jonathan Kim, and this is a ReThink Review.